Okay, we're going to take a look at problem number 5 in our review. Remember, we want to use good strategies to solve this. So when I read and I want to circle that there are 20 cats and 25 dogs, and then when I get to the question, it says, what is the ratio of cats to dogs? Those labels are going to be important, so I'm going to write the word cats to dogs as a strategy. If I have 20 cats and 25 dogs as a ratio, I want to actually reduce this, so I'm going to stack it and reduce, getting it as low as we can go. So I'm thinking, what can I divide by to get down as low as we can go? I'm going to divide by 5, divide by 5, and when I reduce this, I end up with a 4 to 5 ratio. Now I see the numbers 5 and 4 that look familiar. I also see 4 to 5. But this 4 to 9 out here I think is wrong, so I'm going to go ahead and mark that out and eliminate. I need to look at these two questions and ask myself which one would be the best choice. Remember, what I read first, I write first, so the number for cats must come first, which makes B my best answer. Now let's take a look at number 6. Again, we're talking about the ratio of boys to girls. Boys to girls is a 4 to 5 ratio. What I read first, I write first. Even in my question, I'm going to come down here and it kept the same order, boys to girls. It looks like all these numbers are getting bigger, so I'm going to stack it and make a table that will increase in size. So I'm going to multiply by 2 and get 8, multiply by 2 and get 10, because we scaled up by 2. Is this a choice in my answer choices over here? Don't see an answer yet, so we're going to scale up and make it 3 times greater. And 3 times greater, we will get 12 and 15. So over here I'm going to look, do I have a 12 and 15? I do. But double check your labels. What was my first label representing? Boys, and my second one, girls. So do I have a good answer? Yes. Boys to girls, 12 to 15. In problem number 7, we're talking about your heart beating 9 times per 10 seconds. And we want to know about, ooh, there's a nice key word, about how many times is my heart going to beat in 80 seconds. We want to see if we can get a true answer before we get an estimated answer. So we're going to talk about our heartbeat. So I'm going to put an H for 9, and then I'm going to talk about seconds is going to be 10. Here I want to increase my table to 180. Is that a math fact that I can do, is go from 10 to 180? And that will be times 18. So if I multiply by 18, oh, I don't know that. That's not a fact in my head. So I might come over here and do some side work. 18 times 9. When I work this out, 9 times 8 is 72. Carry my 7. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 7 more is 16. So it's 162 times compared to 180. And I see that answer here, so C, best answer. In problem number 8, it's asking me to compare the cost of mangoes. 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, and 4 pounds of mangoes. In my problem, it tells me if I buy all 4 pounds, it's $12. Let's find out if I only buy 1 pound. In other words, I'm reducing it to my base ratio. I'm going to go down, so I'm going to divide by 4 to go all the way down, divide by 4 to go all the way down, and we will get $3 per 1 pound. So I'm going to increase my table and buy 2 pounds, so I'm going to multiply by 2, build it back up and multiply by 2. I'm going to spend $6. I'm going to buy 3 pounds. I'm going to get times 3, and we would get $9. Which one of these answers answers the question? I want to come up here, circle it, and it's asking for my 3 pounds. 3 pounds, $9 answer. Be careful though, because I see a 12 and I see a 3, but it doesn't answer the question. The $9 answers the question. Let's flip over to problem number 9 up at the top. When I see problem number 9 and I look at my answer choices, I'm looking that I'm just setting it up and probably not having to solve it. So I'm looking at a ratio table that's going to have some labels on it and possibly a variable, which is either an X or an H. When I come up here and look at 7 hours, one of my labels will be hours, and I'm going to put a 7 in. And then I have a money amount, so I'm going to put a $sign and put the $59.50. Now as I continue to read that I'm making a proportion, how many hours if I made $85? So I'm looking at my $85 and increasing, which leaves this space to either have the X, but I think they're using an H here instead of X. And I'm going to look for which one matches. This one has the 85 in the wrong place. I have a H and a 7, that might look good, but then it's not comparing. And this one looks identical to mine, so A, best answer. Now with problem number 10, same type of scenario. I'm comparing teacher, need some labels, to students. And it says here that every one teacher is 15 students. But it's going to increase, and I'm going to have 630 students. So my missing right here is where I would put my variable, my X. So let's compare. 1 to 15, 630, and this one is the same. So we have B, best answer. There'll be one more video clip that will go through the rest of the problems, so stay tuned and check your work.